I'm Tiffany New York Pollard. I run this
original HBIC.
I was known for being very feisty.
So let me be real. See, I'm talking about, yeah, take the ground. Ain't nobody gonna deal with this.
Okay, whoa. You gotta bring that shit back.
It's good to have you with us.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the GoldenBaby channel. Y'all know these days it's almost impossible to completely ignore social media and all that it brings. And probably one of the greatest, most hilarious aspects of social media is the meme. Memes have kept us laughing for years now, whether we see them on our timelines, news feeds, or as comedic breaks in YouTube videos. But even more so, memes have kept some iconic moments and personalities in television history alive. One of the most prominent faces we've seen in memes is no other than the HBIC herself, Miss Tiffany New York Pollard. I've recently realized that with all these memes of New York popping up, people who weren't really into reality TV when she first popped off, or those who are just too young, probably don't even realize why New York is reality TV royalty. So I decided to make this video highlighting New York's career in reality TV and why she's still the head bitch in charge. But first, I gotta let y'all know this video is sponsored by Embrace Pangaea. Embrace Pangaea is a holistic company offering premium herb-infused natural hygiene products and herbal detoxes. This company has so many different products to fit your daily health and hygienic needs, like the super popular 5-star rated Pangaea wash. This feminine wash is all natural and pH balanced with rose and honeysuckle extracts. They also have the Essential 18 detox tea packed with 18 powerful herbs to get rid of those nasty little toxins lingering around in your body. I like to drink mine hot in the morning with a little bit of stevia and then I'm good to go. Look, it's 2020 and it's really time to start taking care of your body the way nature intended. You've been saying you want to level up on your self-care game, right? Plus, I got you the hookup with 10% off your first order. Just head on over to embracepangea.com and use the coupon code GOLDEN, or just click the link in the description to find your new favorite holistic care products from Embrace Pangaea. Now back to the video. New York was born as Tiffany Pollard on January 6, 1982 in Utica, New York. She grew up in a very Christian religious household, having evangelist, reverend parents, and many pastors in the family. However, she was allowed to be herself, as she says that there should be a balance between religion and normal life. In middle and high school, she was always extra and had a big personality, which set her apart from others in the small community of Utica. She dropped out of school in 10th grade because school just wasn't for her. She believed that she had her own kind of wisdom. She eventually moved to Los Angeles to pursue a career in modeling and acting, and she only had $2,000 in her pocket and struggled to find financial stability. About 9 months after living in Los Angeles, New York was spotted by a casting director while she was just walking down the street. He asked her if she would be interested in a new dating show that he was working on. She ended up giving him her number, and he later called to give her an opportunity to be on this show. But New York had no idea who the show was for or many details, and she definitely didn't know that this was about to change her entire life. That show ended up being Flavor of Love, which revolves around former rapper and hype man Flavor Flav attempting to find love again after being dumped by his actress girlfriend Bridget Nielsen for another man on a show called Strange Love. On Flavor of Love, about 20 women, including 22-year-old Tiffany Pollard, were brought on to compete for Flavor Flav's attention and affection. Upon entering, each girl was given a nickname, and for spicy Tiffany Pollard, that nickname was, of course, New York. Many viewers thought that Flavor of Love would be a flop. That may be because there weren't any black or black-led reality dating shows at this time. It was only the year prior, in 2004, that BET aired the first all-black reality series, series College Hill. But this was actually an advantage for the show and for New York herself, as the what they would call urban reality TV world wasn't as overly saturated as it is today. New York made a name for herself with her witty personality, over-the-top dramatics, and overall theatrical behavior throughout season 1 of Flavor of Love.
I am a natural beauty. This I know. This we all know. And I know these bitches would love to look more like Miss New York. I just look damn good. Next to Goldie, there is, a difference. It's obvious, She's a cute girl, cute next to gorgeous. Gorgeous is gonna, devour cute. So, in the looks department, I definitely, I've scored too high for her to catch up.
Unfortunately, New York was eliminated at the last ceremony during season 1 as Flav chose contestant Hoops. But Hoops and Flav were never meant to be, so Flav went on a second quest to find love with a whole new set of women. And you could imagine how those women felt when Flav brought New York back to critique them and then ended up keeping her on the show to compete again mid-season. Even still, New York was eliminated at the very last ceremony again, which led to the infamous elimination scene when New York got pretty upset.
Why the did you bring me back?
Why did I on you?
Yes, you are on me. Whatever. I don't give a. I don't give a. Do I look like I give a? Because I don't. Love them. I do love them dearly. I hate them though.
But I mean, who wouldn't be upset in this situation, right? It's safe to say New York didn't make many friends while on the show, but she did get the attention of the audience with her memorable scenes. Participating in Flavor of Love not only paved the way for New York to attend many different talk shows, but it also made her a favorite of the producers at VH1. So much so that New York was offered her own reality dating show called I Love New York. This show was produced in the same formatting as Flavor of Love and at first went for 2 seasons, having the biggest reality TV debut in VH1 history. At this time, New York also dabbled a bit in something else she had always wanted to do: acting. She scored a short part in Ice Cube's First Sunday alongside Ice Cube himself and Regina Hall. New York had found love on her last season of I Love New York through contestant Taylor Made, so she and VH1 decided to focus on New York's dreams and aspirations, which brought on another reality show called New York Goes to Hollywood. This show consisted of 30-minute episodes following New York around as she tried her hand at an acting career, going to acting classes, doing different appearances, all while trying to juggle her relationship. The camera followed her through it all. Shortly after this segment ended, New York began another similar segment called New York Goes to Work, another round of 30-minute episodes, except this time New York sets out to find a day job which is completely controlled by viewer votes. Somewhere around that time frame, New York ended up breaking it off with Taylor Made as it just wasn't a good match at the time. And so she then geared up for I Love New York 3 and New York Goes to Work Part 2. But unfortunately, right before production of the shows began, tragedy struck at VH1. See, Flavor of Love was not the only love show on VH1, although it is responsible for catapulting that whole new sector. Rock of Love, the rock star version of Flavor of Love, had also started up and casted a contestant named Megan Hauserman. Megan, like New York, went on to have her own show called Megan Wants a Millionaire in 2009, where a man named Ryan Jenkins was casted to compete for Megan's love. After filming Megan Wants a Millionaire, Ryan Jenkins married a model named Jasmine in Las Vegas, and then 5 months later went on to do another VH1 competition series called I Love Money. He was reportedly very jealous and controlling of Jasmine while she was in Vegas and he was away in Mexico filming the show. And after the show ended, Jasmine's body was found in a dumpster in California. Ryan Jenkins immediately went on the run and eventually ended his own life. This caused uproar from reality TV fans, as Ryan had already had a record for assaulting his ex-girlfriend a few years prior, but VH1 and show production claimed that this incident did not show up in Ryan's records. People began to believe that it just wasn't safe to go on to these contestant shows, and VH1 immediately pulled Megan Wants a Millionaire off air, banned the new season of I Love Money, and canceled all other shows alike, including I Love New York 3. The competition-based reality dating shows on VH1 ultimately ended with For the Love of Ray J and Ocho Cinco: The Ultimate Catch. VH1 began to move in a different direction with reality TV. A few months later, Jersey Shore premiered in December 2009, followed by Basketball Wives in 2010, and both Love and Hip Hop and Mob Wives in 2011. Reality TV was on to a new era, and for Tiffany, that meant that a show like New York Goes to Work had no place in the time slots. So New York decided to just take some time to live her life away from reality television. But even during her break, she came up with her own show concept called Ratchet Queens, a reality show that would bring ratchet women together and morph them into queens. However, the show never got picked up.
There was a great concept that didn't get picked up, but we're going to re-morph it into something else. I want to say what it was. It was called Ratchet Queens. You know, it was pretty much me turning ratchet girls into what I would think a version of a queen would be. And I think that's such a dope concept.
New York never really gave exact details of why the show didn't make it, but I do have my own theory on something that may have played a part. As I said, Ratchet Queens was a show about bringing ratchet women together and making them queens. The synopsis is very similar to the original plot of Bad Girls Club, which was supposed to be about bringing 7 self-proclaimed bad girls together to face their issues head-on, work on themselves, and leave as a better woman. It's not uncommon for some TV shows to have similar plots, but during the time that New York was trying to pitch Ratchet Queens, Bad Girls Club was already headed downhill. As the show began to become more and more violent and meaningless, producers had just decided that Bad Girls Club had run its course and was too much of a liability. So at this time, Bad Girls Club was filming what was supposed to be the last season, season 13. So with that being said, Bad Girls Club's demise may have been a red flag to not pick up another show similar to it. However, that's just my theory, but make sure you like this video if you want a full documentary on the Bad Girls Club, and also because it's just good for your edges. New York continued to work on screen, but in movies and TV shows rather than reality TV. She appeared in the film The Shop as Kiana and a few episodes of Downtown LA. In 2015, Tiffany appeared on an episode of Botched, a show about plastic surgery transformation. And then in 2016, New York made her official return to reality TV. Not wasting any time, she starred in the United Kingdom's Big Brother, Family Therapy with Dr. Jen along with her mother, and The Next 15, which also starred Jennifer Williams, Claudia Jordan, and Benzino. Although Family Therapy was more on the serious side of things, New York definitely still came out to play on the other 2 shows.
Because it's an inner cry, bitch.
She continued to pop in on talk shows as well, and then continued her reality reign in 2017 when VH1 offered New York her own YouTube show, Brunch with Tiffany, where she interviews other reality stars and public figures. Brunch with Tiffany is quite successful on YouTube and has run 3 seasons so far. Later in 2017, she also starred in VH1's spooky competition show called Scared Famous, along with Safari, Erica Mena, Sky Days, and others. And then she was a guest judge on RuPaul's Drag Race in 2019. So as you can see, New York is a very hard worker, and she's still going strong in the reality world right now. As of 2020, you can currently catch her on the United Kingdom's X on the Beach, and she also hosts Fenty Beauty's Holiday Gift Guide, so you might be able to catch her this holiday season on the Fenty Beauty YouTube channel. Now at 38 years old, New York is most definitely reality TV royalty. She is the blueprint for a lot of the newer, well-known reality stars that we know today. However, New York is only a turned-up side of Tiffany Pollard. She is a persona, or a television personality. Outside of television, Tiffany Pollard is a very sweet and private woman who has previously opened up about a possible bipolar disorder, as she struggles with mood swings pretty heavily. She also struggled with bulimia back in the Flavor of Love days, in which some of her castmates actually tried to make remarks about how skinny she was.
Bitch got skinny as hell snoring that shit probably.
As well as a miscarriage that she suffered between shows a few years back. Tiffany, BKA, New York, is also not exempt from public scrutiny and rumors. She's had to deal with the assumption that she bleached her skin numerous times.
Accused me of bleaching. And when I talked about it, you know, people still don't believe that I don't bleach. They don't understand how brutal the Cali sun is. So you come out here, you're going to get 4 to 5 shades darker. And then when the
sun goes away.
Fall. Fall and winter like right now.
Exactly. The ridicule I get for bleaching, and I really don't
And you were
bleach.
standing up for darker skin
Of course,
black
because
women.
I didn't grow up with that stigma. I don't know good skin versus bad skin. Light skin is better. I have so much of an array of shades of brown to light in my family on both sides. Nobody was ever made to feel like, stay out of the sun or you're better because you're lighter. So that to me is just, I can't wrap my head around it.
And as I stated earlier, she was also humiliated by a man that she loved not once, but twice on national television, who I haven't mentioned she did reunite with back in 2018 during an appearance on the Braxton Family Values. So I mentioned all of that to say, regardless of how dramatic New York plays up to be, Tiffany is still a human who goes through things that some of us can relate to, but still very sassy, very witty, and forever the HBIC. New York is definitely a favorite at the GoldenBaby channel, and we wish her even more success with more roles, gigs, and shows. There might be many, but what's your favorite moment of New York's? And did you know all the history behind the older reality TV shows on VH1? Let me know how you feel down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.